Hello again. Welcome to yet another NGS cast. Today we're going to have a super exciting game. This is one that I've honestly been looking forward to. Frankly, I don't know why I didn't pick this up earlier to make sure no one else sniped it, but you know what? We ended up getting it. This is Boogans Forever versus BoomerGaming. And while those two names are definitely going to be fun to cast, these are the top two teams in the Nexus division, with only 1 point between these two. So really, whoever wins today is going to be the #1 team of Nexus division heading into the final few weeks. I'm expecting a lot from these two teams. We have already done the map bans. I am thinking of a way to integrate it, and I think I thought of a way to do it, but I'll try the method starting next series. Now, some of you may have noticed I've only picked up one series today, but the go live notification said double header. And that is because I started work today at 4 a.m. Had to wake up a bit before that. But I do intend on picking up a second game. It's just that if we end early, I'll try to pick up the 7:30 game. I forget who's playing there, but just kind of give context of what's happening. But anyway, to talk more about the game, let's get into the picks and bans for the map. So, the lobby has just been made, just got invited to it, but I'm not going to spoil which map we are going to be playing on quite yet. But Boogans Forever decided to go for first pick, so BoomerGaming banned Sky Temple and Alterac Pass, and Boogans Forever banned Tomb of the Spider Queen and Volskaya Foundry. And one thing I was kind of expecting, looking into both of these teams, they play one map a lot. Both of these teams seem to love it. And we're going to be going there for game 1, Battlefields of Eternity. As you all know, this and Vax Holdout, my two favorite maps. I love 2-lane maps. There's always way more action in them. And I'm always super excited to watch these kinds of games. And this is a map both teams have been able to play super well. I'm still working on setting up a stats page. I may even need to upgrade my PC because at the moment it is not able to handle the graphics I set up. So I need to either optimize that, which is hard work, or spend money so I don't need to optimize it, which is dumb, but I may do it anyway because that's how I roll. But yeah, both teams are in the lobby. I'm not sure when they'll be starting. Should be starting any moment now. And as soon as we do, we are going to be heading straight into the draft. And I think this is my favorite thing to say. Usually, you can kind of favor one team more than others. Sure, a team will be competitive. They'll usually be competitive. I find that the balance in these divisions has been pretty phenomenal this year. But with these two teams, no matter the bias you have, no matter which team you favor, no matter what ability you think matters more, there's no way to see which of these two teams is better. They are both going to be playing insanely well, and I'm just really excited to see which one will bring it out today. I probably shouldn't say this considering dominations do give the extra point, but I am hoping for a 3-map series today, as we do head into our first draft of the day. Now, there's no specific picks or bans that I think will really be fought over. That are kind of like outside of the main meta. So we will see a Diablo ban. Like always, that's a pretty standard ban. And on a map like this, I do expect to see the Vala ban as well. Maybe a Joanna, though I find that once you start heading in towards the higher divisions, Joanna becomes less of a priority. But yeah, I do expect to see the Vala banned away, at least from the side of BoomerGaming. Now, the second ban is coming in. That's going to be getting rid of the Lucio. Very strong healer, as we all know. Able to run very fast, very hard to kill. Has an individual cleanse that also makes himself unstoppable. And it's just an overall pain to deal with while also providing insane heals. If that doesn't tell you why Lucio should be banned, I don't know what will. But this is probably the series I've been most excited to cast this entire week. I've been looking forward to this for a while. I've really been enjoying following the Nexus division specifically. Just something about it. I don't know. Maybe it's because the first few casts ended up being in this division. We have seen BoomerGaming on this stream before. We have not seen Boogans forever, though. But just being able to watch all of these different teams kind of start learning the ins and outs of them has been really exciting for me. Blaze was banned out by Boogans Forever. And Chromie, this is one that I wasn't completely expecting. Banned out by BoomerGaming. Chromie's a bit of an interesting ban. It is someone that is able to poke over walls pretty heavily. A lot of damage. And then if you're able to use the time-lapse effectively, with a coordinated team, you'll be able to deal a lot of damage with that. And just, once again, make it very difficult to play against. There are ways of escaping it. You can cleanse at the right time, etc. But it kind of does force out those abilities. Hanzo will be the first pick for Boogans Forever. Standard DPS, not much special to say about that. As we do see the Joanna and the Li Ming picked up for BoomerGaming. Now Li Ming, not really meta over at this tier of gaming. However, on Battlefield of Eternity, she is one of the best characters to pick if you want to race for the Immortal. And I do expect Li Ming being able to do that, while Bellers on the Joanna will just be zoning away the team of Boogans Forever, while Dope Monster helps finish off that objective. We're already seeing a pretty solid Light Bomb combo with Muradin and Anduin. We have seen a couple of Genji Light Bomb combos as well, and I wonder if that's something that BoomerGaming are considering with this final ban. And they do get rid of it. Hey, I actually managed to call a ban for once. Let's go. We're learning. But yeah, with that Genji gone, it's not going to be quite as scary, but Muradin Dwarf Toss into the Anduin Light Bomb is still a very threatening set of abilities. And the Samuro will be the final ban for this map. I'm seeing Samuro ban on Battlefield of Eternity so much, but it's at that point where I've never seen it actually picked on this map, so I'm still not entirely sure why that ban is being made, and I probably should figure that out. I should ask someone who's smarter than me when it comes to this game. But unfortunately, we're not able to do that right now, but if anyone in chat knows why Samuro is so contested, seemingly every time I cast Battlefield of Eternity, he gets banned. Please let me know, because I'm always wanting to learn more about this game. Now, Brightwing and Leoric will be the next two picks over for BoomerGaming. Brightwing, solid healer. Leoric, solid offlaner. Not too much to talk about them. Both pretty standard meta picks. You will have the Phase Shift Global coming out from Brightwing. It's not quite as impactful on this map. However, it is still always going to be useful. Especially when it comes to, like if Brightwing ends up getting picked off, if Begatron gets killed, I can come in straight for base and kind of shave off an extra 5 to 10 seconds of that respawn time, being able to get into the fight right away. Now, Lazy Hydra and Non-Champion do pick up Yrel and Lunara. And Yrel is so much fun to watch. Just absolute monster tank, deals so much damage. And the Lunara, and that one, the Lunara's a bit more of an interesting pick for me. I do believe the idea is to pick off Li Ming here. They do seem to have more of a fighting comp than a racing comp. And Lunara is able to deal more damage, but because it's a dot, she will always lose the race. Compared to someone like Li Ming. And the final pick of Greymane. Now, Greymane is able to race so well onto these Immortals. So, the builds are kind of already been picked up. Both sides know what they're doing. BoomerGaming wants to kill the Immortals, and Boogans Forever wants to kill BoomerGaming. And we'll see which strategy goes out on top as we head into game number 1. All right, and we are back for game number 1. Both teams starting to get onto the map right away. And we'll see how they do their lane assignments. Most likely, I expected, will just be the standard. We'll see Lazy Hydra go top and match I feed there. However, it is possible they start doing something funky. Maybe the occasional roam will happen early, just to get that initial advantage. But we will see. Right now, it does not seem like that's the play. Unless Lazy Hydra decides to go bottom. And right now, it does seem like Lazy Hydra will be cheating down a little bit. Whether they commit to this or if they're just looking for the opportunity play, we'll have to wait and see. But Lazy Hydra is moving down. Dope Monster has not seen him yet. But at the same time, they should know something's up because iFeed is in top lane. And Lazy Hydra has not yet shown up. Now Lazy Hydra will jump in. But just gets polymorphed immediately. So they are able to get the push here, but not really too much of an advantage from that. But in the meanwhile, iFeed was able to take out the entire lane. And a lot of those orbs are going to end up not fully disappearing, but will turn into those small orbs. So a bit less XP for BoomerGaming. But that's just the cost of opportunity going for a play like this. Looking at the talents, I'm not really seeing too much that stands out to me quite yet. So it looks pretty standard. Scattershot build and Dwarf Block. So just making it... Kalav... I'm not even sure how to pronounce that. Kalavoth, gonna be getting hit right now. Does have the extra armor though, so will be tankier. That 75 armor for 4 hits does add up, and the cooldown is relatively short on the Dwarf Toss. As we do see, Boogans Forever are starting onto that siege camp. Bellers does notice, but too late. They're not going to be able to get there in time. So nice little sneak. A little bit of an advantage. As we do see 5 once again going onto the bottom. J Shift's going to get cleansed. But you know who's not going to get cleansed? The healer. And they're going to get first blood over on Boogans Forever. Being able to kill that Brightwing. And with this kind of map movement, the Lazy Hydra is just consistently pressuring bot. And they're able to get not only the camp, but they're also able to get a kill after. It's a very interesting playstyle because, like I said before, their team comp kind of relies on winning fights. And if you want to win fights, it does pay to be more aggressive and to be more ahead from before the Immortal spawn. As level 4 is hit for Boogans Forever. It shouldn't be too long for level 4 to come out for BoomerGaming, as they do approach their Bruiser camp and will be matched over on the side of Boogans Forever. But as I was saying, if you're playing a fighting composition, it is beneficial to get ahead early, to play aggressively and get those leads before the objective spawn. Because when your goal is not only to fight, but you have to win those fights, it is a more of a risky strategy, playing like that instead of playing for the race. But they're playing it well so far. They know what they need to do, and they're playing accordingly. They've gotten the first kill. It's only a quarter/half a level lead for now. But if they keep the pressure up, if they do a play like this between every objective, they will be able to slowly but surely build up the lead and maybe even win with that. So now the objective has spawned and a lot of damage being dealt onto the Immortal. Let's see if we can zoom out and get both of them here. Kind of. But we do see that half the HP already gone from the BoomerGaming Immortal. They are going to be regrouping now. A little bit of DPS happening between the two teams. And now it's just going to be a straight race. But unfortunately, they're going to have to fight it from BoomerGaming. They are too far behind. They do have the better characters for racing. But with a half HP lead, it's just not possible. Big orb landing on the Thundercats in the background. As they are able to zone it away. They do have J Shift hitting onto their Immortal. So they're just trying to stall for time. They don't need to win the fight. They just need to keep the side of Boogans Forever off of this Immortal. But they're gonna come in, they're gonna start fighting. And the race is actually getting pretty close. However, there is a number advantage and a DPS advantage over for Boogans Forever. And they are able to get that first objective. But now they're going in. Calibeth jumps in. Not able to land any stuns yet. But J Shifts runs into the back, gets himself a kill. Now going to be on the wrong side of the map, but Phase Shift will come out to get the heal and should be okay as Calibeth gets polymorphed. And just a lot of DPS, but the Dwarf Toss will get them out to safety. And that's a 1-for-0 coming out for BoomerGaming. However, they do lose the Immortal, so Boogans Forever will be able to start pressuring that in. They will not be able to keep it in range mode. The benefit of having a close race is that shield value does get significantly decreased. They should still be able to finish most of the wall, if not the entire wall. But I don't expect them to really be able to pressure the fort here without any extra mistakes. Though Bellers is getting taken very low. But they also pull on to Kalov, who's very low. And now Isaac going to be taking half their HP as well. As they do finish off the Immortal, they are able to zone away Boogans forever. But now Lazy Hydra able to knock their healer straight back in. And that's another kill for Boogans forever. 2 for 1 the score now, as they do have a half-level advantage. And they're also going to be able to pick up the siege camp. Now, the Lazy Hydra is going to walk down. Did miss a few minions of XP. But like I said, if every rotation ends up netting them a kill, you will always favor losing that XP. The siege camp does get finished off over by Thundercats. And now they're going to be taking both of these siege camps. No response from BoomerGaming. They are in a bit of a sticky situation. They're definitely at a deficit, but the lead is not insurmountable. And this is kind of where you want to be as a fighting composition. But let's see if they're going to be able to transition this come the mid game. Once they hit their level 10s, that's going to be their first major power spike. Each of those talents does matter, but getting an extra ability is really going to be the difference maker in these fights. So if they're able to use this level 10 timer for the next Immortal, this is where I want to see them really start forcing plays. As they do get a lot of damage onto Bellers. But Bellers will be able to just heal up slowly. Does not have the tap and is actually walking with pretty low HP. There's a little bit of fighting happening over time. Stormhammer does land to iFeed. iFeed trying to heal. Phase Shift going to be coming out. It looks like they're just aiming to disengage. A lot of poke down, and Phase Shift is a pretty massive cooldown to get rid of. Still even talents for both sides, and Boogans Forever not going to be aiming to get that level 10. As the race is coming through. And in fact, Boogans Forever is winning that race right now. They were able to get it at halftime, but only 1.8k XP gold, or sorry, 1.8k damage lead. And now the question becomes, who's going to be able to win this second half? Because it could be anyone. Whoever ends up having the better position is able to deal the DPS faster. As we once again have to really zoom out for this to be able to see. Bellers is going to be getting hit in the meanwhile. A scoreboard is kind of blocking the top of the screen. And once again, Boogans Forever, despite not having the composition really designed around racing, are able to do it just by virtue of being able to zone them away. They have consistently been able to have 4 or 5 hitting onto the Immortal much earlier than BoomerGaming. Both sides do have level 10, so that lead did not end up getting used. But the threat of that lead is what got them the Immortal and just their aggressive positioning. So good play for them too. We'll see how much they're able to get it, as we do see a little bit of fighting going on the top side, but Ivy just going to be able to Wraith walk away. And once again, the Immortal is just going to be able to get the wall, one little love tap onto the fort, and that'll be it. It's still a lead. They're still slowly gaining an advantage through all of these map plays. But we do see an interesting fight happening on the top side. iFeed versus Lazy Hydra. Lots of damage being dealt onto this fort at this point. We do see Bellers was considering roaming up, but Lazy Hydra will be able to just walk away. And now Bellers and Dope Monster trying to get priority of this mid area. And Bellers walks up a little bit too far. He gets Dragon Arrowed. Phase Shift is coming out. We'll be able to keep him alive, but cooldown's expended for that. And really for nothing. Bellers does end up being okay. It's Phase Shift for Dragon Arrow. Not a big deal for either team. Both teams will be happy with that trade. But I'm wondering what the call was there. I'm sure they had an idea of what they wanted to do. My guess is they wanted to try picking someone off on rotation, perhaps even picking off Lazy Hydra. As the fight for the siege camp does begin, J-Shifts will be able to just secure this. And that'll be the first siege camp going over for BoomerGaming. Slowly closing this lead. It is still a very close game. But now it's going to be about less than a quarter level between the two teams. There will be a slight timing for 13s when Boogans Forever gets it. Probably not for the first half. Oh, definitely not for the first half. Maybe for the second half of this Immortal. If not, then right after. As both sides will be hitting their bruiser camps and just kind of clearing that out. Immortals will be spawning in 10 seconds. And it will be another vertical spawn for the very fun map movement. Now Bellers is already walking up, trying to zone them off a little bit. But they are getting pincered. We do see the Lazy Hydra coming in from behind, so be ready for that play. E-Bagatron is hiding in the bush. But no, Lazy Hydra will have to go back to defend the wall, as the Bruiser Camp has landed on it. They haven't sent anyone back quite yet to start the race. And as I say that, J Shift's now hitting onto that Immortal. Dope Monster just kind of being used to poke and zone with those orbs. But the Bruiser Camp is also dealing a lot of damage over to the spot site, and they will be able to clear it out first. So they're going to have a short 5v4, as we do see the Light Bomb combo coming out all the way onto the Brightwing, and now we see Bellers getting stuck in the middle of the enemy team. Not a lot of health, not a lot of cooldowns, and no healer behind. So Bellers likely will go down, as we do see another Dwarf Toss. Kalopathy gets the double kill. And halftime is also reached at the same time, and Boogans Forever, they're playing this composition very clean. These Immortals have been entirely under their control this entire game. I see iFeed and Dope Monitor walking and trying to delay, but Lazy Hydra does jump in, forces J-Shift's back. We do have the respawn, as Entomb comes out, but Lazy Hydra will just be able to jump away. And they're just going to try and DPS down as much of this Immortal as possible right now. Avatar will come out for Kalopathy. I don't think I pronounced that name the same way twice, by the way. I will have to ask how that name is pronounced before the next map starts. But that's a third Immortal going down for Boomers Forever. Once again, the level 13 talents have been reached by both teams. But let's see how much value they'll be able to get this. And in the meanwhile, by the way, the top lane fort has been taken down. 6.5 out of 10 for that fort. Now they're all grouping together for the spot side. 5 pushing in with this Immortal. Lazy Hydra has a very good position for a flank. I don't think they know Lazy Hydra's there. Walking right into E-Bagatron. And in they will go. They will get E-Bagatron, and they will be able to blow up the healer immediately. And now Beller's also going to be taking a lot of damage. Still 1 kill. And they're just targeting this Brightwing. The Brightwing just wants to play the game too. But Boogans Forever not going to allow that to happen. Kalavo is going to be running in as well. They're able to get the bot lane fort and the secondary wall. But Beller's now walking in, also trying to do the fight. Shield Toss is thrown out, lands onto 3. Isaac going to be taking a lot of damage, but no follow-up. Ballers. And the Entomb gets landed on Non-Champion. Non-Champion going to be stuck in the middle of the team, and they will be able to get a kill back. But can they get any more? It does not seem so. All of them are able to disperse, get away in time. But that's going to be a little bit of a trade back, and they should be able to use this pressure, maybe get this wall. As Kalotha gets caught, Polymorph. Shouldn't be too worried, but the entire team is there. Dwarf Toss will just be used to run away, as the top lane siege camp has been picked up by the Lazy Hydra. Now in the meanwhile, they are going to be clearing out the siege camp by BoomerGaming, so that part will be matched. The entire wall is still up. Dope Monster just using those abilities to try and take down this wall. Get some extra pressure for them. As the Light Bomb does come out, lands onto no one, but J-Shift's on the wrong side of everything. Phase Shift is coming out. Dragon are also reached and will be healed back up. And now the fight is kind of split in 2 ways. No one's going to end up going down. Both sides are just going to walk away. Very interesting scatter arrow will dismount Bellers. And the entire bottom wall did get taken down. So that is a little bit of a win for BoomerGaming. Lots of cooldown used in that fight as well. What I'm starting to notice is they are lacking a little bit of that team fight damage once the fights do begin. J-Shift can do a lot of DPS, as Greymane does. But with the Urel, with the Muradin, there's just 2 beefy frontliners that are so hard to break through. And the way they've been playing, they've been trying to send at least 1 person over onto their Immortal. But they just haven't been able to really abuse that. They haven't really been able to add the extra pressure that they need. And once again, they are losing the race on the Immortal just because Non-Champion and Isaac, they're able to hit freely. But you know who can't hit freely? E-Bagatron, because once again, they pick off the Brightwing. They are trying to continue fighting, but J-Shift's kind of caught in the middle of everyone. You do not have a healer, and that's going to be 2 kills going over for Boogans Forever. And 4th Immortal will also be taken over by them. They will take a decent amount of damage over on the top lane fort, but who cares? You have the Immortal, you have the lane pressure. And you're going to have the Immortal going top soon anyway. So as long as Lazy Hydra is able to clear this out, which shouldn't be a problem at all, they'll be able to get a lot of pressure. As they do decide instead, they're going to let the Immortal push one lane while they will push the other. But Isaac gets stuck, but 3 Mad Dragon Arrow into a Light Bomb combination. Non-champion, not going to be able to land on anyone. But iFeed gets hit with a Stormhammer, and the phase shift does not come out in time, so they're just able to get that pick for themselves. It is the Leoric. Leoric does have slightly shorter respawn times, but that is still going to be at least another 20-second advantage over Boogans forever. Dope Monster is trying to clear out this Immortal, but it's so hard when you're doing it on your own. If they're not able to force a fight in the bot side, I think it'll be very difficult to be able to keep both of these keeps alive. Now Dope Monster finally trying to get some DPS. The shield is almost down, but in the meanwhile, in the bot side, they do get the Polymorph onto non-champion, and they will get the pull in as well. Forced to use that ultimate, trying to run away, and just a couple more autos is all it needs, and J-Shifts will be able to finish them off. And Kalavoth in a really weird spot, but will just be able to hearth back. But that Immortal, I don't think they'll be able to kill it in time. It will take over this final keep, and they will have that structure down for them. The core should be able to finish this off no problem. Maybe will take a little bit of damage past the shield, but shouldn't be anything substantial. As Bellers dismounts Kalovith. And Bellers is going to be pushing out this lane as well. Not quite level 20 for the side of Boogans Forever, but they do have a level and a half lead. And that's going to be a very big timing for them. You see another wave just crashing into the tower. And while the wave itself is not going to deal any damage, any lasting damage to the core, that is XP that is being lost right now by BoomerGaming. And it's just hard for them because they do need a group as 5 if they want to be able to pressure anything out. They will get the fort, and it's definitely worth it. But it does show how hard their situation is slowly turning into this game, as they will be on the back foot for the next little while. Kalolith knows they're there, doesn't actually see them, but will spot out J-Shifts now. And the side of BoomerGaming is now rotating top, just going to clear this out. And Dope Monster even throwing out some extra abilities, trying to snipe this fort as well. It gets blocked a little bit by the wall. Very unfortunate. Might have been enough for the kill. But Bellers is there to zone them away, but they still will not choose to commit for that fort quite yet. The positioning and the wave pressure just is not there for them. Now both teams posturing. Very aggressive posturing over by Boogans Forever, as they do hit level 20 with the Immortal spawning soon. And this is going to be their timing. They've already been winning every single Immortal race, every Immortal fight, and now they have the advantage for it. This is the timing they need to pressure. Now Bellers is scouted out, will be mounted up, gets instantly dismounted by Isaac, but there is a little bit of fighting happening up in the top side. iFeed just going to get bullied a little bit by the Lazy Hydra, as they are able to zone away the Leoric, and they're instantly going to start the race. But they're not playing passively over on BoomerGaming. They're not worried about these level 20s. They're still here to fight. And actually so much damage. Isaac very low. Just a few more skill shots. Will not be able to land them, but they're able to zone away non-champion and Isaac. Both DPSs had to run, had to leave. And they're going to be able to get some damage over onto these Immortals. But unfortunately, both of them did have their taps still available. They will heal up with a well, but now they also have the positioning over on the side of BoomerGaming. The iFeed did go over top side, is clearing out those minions, trying to get to level 20, has the Light Bomb combo, but will be blocked by the Steel Skin. Beller is able to block all of the crowd control, but is not able to block the damage at half HP, but the phase shifts will heal him up. Hello was able to dodge away last second, but really well played by BoomerGaming. They know they're at disadvantage, but their positioning has been fantastic. Entomb does come out, but Leap of Faith will be used to counter that. So again, that's 2 more cooldowns that will not be there for the second half of the fight. Lazy Hydra jumps right in. And Begatron just trying to hide him, but so much damage! Oh my god! Able to get that kill immediately, and now it's a 4v5 in favor of BoomerGaming. And I said this was a lead they needed to push, but BoomerGaming thought I was talking to them. Now Isaac already getting hit over by Dope Monster. Dope Monster trying to change. Magic Missiles thrown out, but are just going to be able to get a little bit of poke. But in the meanwhile, non-champion has just been slamming down this Immortal, already down to 11k. Bellers will try zoning it out. Does have the blind as well if need be. Phase shift will come out. We do see the bot one is getting killed very quickly right now. So it should be the first Immortal heading over for the side of BoomerGaming, as they do ding level 20. So that major disadvantage they had, they were able to bring it back. They're going to be able to truly play here. There is a massive wave coming over towards the core. And they will send back iFeed to deal with it, because when there's 3 cannons, each hitting for 377, you need to send someone back, even if there are no future waves coming in for it. But now they're still going to have 4 of their team members. Euro only spawning now, and iFeed is now also going to be running over to the bot side. So not grouping with the team quite yet. So they do need to play a little bit further behind, careful of an engagement happening over in this top side. They're not going to push the Immortal in. They're just going to let the Immortal deal as much damage as possible to these walls, as the Immortal is able to get the bot and cannon and the gate. Oh, nope. Will be able to get it with the final cast. And they are able to get a lot of this damage back as the quest is completed. So now it's 3% permanent attack speed up to 30%. Mithril Mace fully stacked up now. A lot of timers now being hit over by BoomerGaming. Level 21 to level 20, but at this point, doesn't matter. Just a little bit of stats going over for Boogans forever. And really, it's all going to come back about teamfight execution. Whoever's able to execute these fights the best is going to be the one to win. Map state does still favor Boogans forever a little bit, having that extra keep down on the top side. Is going to be able to enable a little bit of pressure for them, just passively. There is the Bruiser Camp pushing back right now, and that Bruiser Camp will be able to manage it for the time being. But after that, they will have to remember that they're always on a slight timer. Now, iFeed just going to be smacking his mace against Lazy Hydra. And will actually reset in order to be able to clear out this top wave, as the entire side of BoomerGaming is now grouping for this. Both teams playing it safe, playing it passively, just kind of waiting for the Immortal to spawn, as they play Pong with the two waves, just bouncing them back and forth. But now, Bellers and Kaloth will see each other, but nothing will end up coming from it. Just a little bit of love taps. They'll say, "Hey, I see her here," and Kaloth's like, "Yeah, I see you too." But that's all that's gonna happen there. The Bruiser Camp is still shoving out this top side, and in fact, with that being the only camp, they will have their pressure top for BoomerGaming, at least temporarily. Now the Immortals both have spawned. Neither side has hit any damage yet. Lazy Hydra able to jump onto the backside, but not able to really land on top of anyone. And now Lazy Hydra's a little bit stuck, forced to pop that ultimate. Not going to be able to hit anyone. Dragon Arrow goes right in between, and now J-Shift is invisible, but unfortunately Bellow is able to go down. And out in the middle of this, J-Shifts will also go down. The Entomb is in the middle of everyone, but that's not enough. Lazy Hydra will still be chasing on to Bellers. Bellers will also be taken down. iFeed and Dope Monster getting away at almost no HP. And that's 3 for nothing in the favor of Boogans forever. And it looks like they don't even want the Immortals. They don't want to play for that. They want to play for the game. It is still a little bit difficult without any minions. It is possible that they'll be able to defend. Light Bomb is kind of wasted, used just to zone. And Thunder Cats is landed into the middle. Dope Monster able to get a lot of poke. Ivy trying to hit onto Kaloth as hard as possible. Will they have the damage to zone them away? And in the meanwhile, the Bruiser Camp is also hitting onto their base, but with the kill onto the Dope Monster, that should be the end of the game. The core is strong, but not strong enough. And game number 1 will go to Boogans forever. And so far, this series is delivering. This is what I wanted to see from both of these teams. Boogans Forever able to pick up map number 1. But you know what? I think both sides have really shown what they can do. The 12-4 kills does not tell the story of that game. BoomerGaming were able to fight when they needed to fight the most. But at the end, Boogans Forever was able to get that endgame fight. Lazy Hydra able to get onto the back line, take away E-Bagatron. And with that, map number 1 will go to Boogans Forever. don't go anywhere because game number 2 is just going to get started. And hopefully this series is going to be delivering just as much as like game number 1. Don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome back, everyone. After that insane game 1, we are here now for game number 2. We are going to be going over to Infernal Shrines, and that's something I'm really excited to see. Again, this is another map that kind of favors fighting. Any map that favors fighting is a map that I love to see. I don't want to see any of that Warhead Junction stuff. I want to see Infernal Shrines. I want to see Battlefield of Eternity. And that's what we're getting with these two teams. Both of these teams are super excited to continue this. And I'm excited to watch this. If game number 2 is anything like it was in game number 1, we're going to have a great night today. And King of Gold, thank you for the tier 1 subscription. I typically don't try to talk during cast about chat, but gotta thank the subscribers. Thank you very much. And I do intend on casting more Boomers games. I intend on casting as many games of every league as I can, really. But anyway, going through with these picks and bans, Hanzo will be banned out over by BoomerGaming, Diablo by Boogans Forever. So pretty standard picks and pretty standard bans so far. Nothing really standing out quite yet. For Infernal Shrines, I'm not really sure if there are any like super major must-have bans. I know Hogger is very good on this map, able to deal with a lot. Medivh, once again, very powerful control mage. If you're able to get that stacked up, and most of these players are able to get that Arcane Rift stacked up very quickly. becomes a strong DPS on top of all that control power that Medivh does bring out. So very solid ban from BoomerGaming too. And the real question is what characters are going to be really fought over. We did see Boogans Forever were able to get a lot of really solid light bombs. But at the same time, BoomerGaming were able to defend against a lot of them. So it really comes into play, like, how confident are they going into that combo? And would they want to play into a light bomb combo themselves? As they do go with the Junkrat for the first pick. Junkrat is also a favorite of mine to watch. That's going to be an insane pick. So, again, Junkrat is kind of a poke / control mage. So it is a bit interesting seeing that Junkrat picked up. Lots of DPS too, able to hit down towers, able to hit down forts. And with that concussive mine and the trap, able to have so much pressure. And we do see Hogger and Chromie picked up by Boogans Forever. So now I'm wondering if that Chromie was a target ban on that last map. Because we saw it was the number 2 ban for BoomerGaming last game. And now it's going to be picked up. So I do want to see just how well non-champion will be able to play it. Lazy Hydra did end up picking up that Hogger. Like I said, Hogger very good on this map. And they will go with a Joanna Anduin combo for BoomerGaming. Joanna very strong. Anduin, I'm wondering if they're going to pick an extra... someone that can really dive in to be able to utilize the light bomb. I don't think they'd end up going with the other ultimate. I don't even remember what it's called. I have not seen it in so long. But Genji is still available. So that could be something that Boogans Forever could remove. Or they do ban out the Leoric, which as we know iFeed can play and is also a very good way of sending in the Anduin. Or of sending in the Anduin light bomb. Now final ban coming out. Tank still has not been picked up by Boogans Forever. I can't really think of a big tank they could get rid of. Nothing that really breaks their composition anyway. Maybe Stitches if it's a tilt pick for them. Sometimes if you don't have a pick. But they do go for the Lucio ban instead. Can't go wrong with a good old-fashioned Lucio ban. Now, I think one thing that Boogans Forever needs to kind of add is either some poke or some really strong engage. Getting on top of the Junkrat is very difficult. And you want to be able to blow up the Junkrat whenever possible. They do have the poke coming in from Chromie, and Hogger is able to get into the fight, but doesn't quite have the reach to hit that Junkrat. As they do go for Falstad and Stukov. So double Falstad most likely will go the Hammerang build. That does seem to be the most popular build right now. And Thundercat's on the Stukov. Stukov going to be very good here, just able to throw out a huge silence. But they still don't really have anything to set it up. And right now, I do kind of feel that Boogans Forever is a bit of a disjointed draft. I think they have a lot of poke. They have a lot of strong players. And they do go with the Blaze and Maiev on BoomerGaming. But sorry, I'm getting distracted here. But I am struggling to see how Boogans Forever is going to be playing this draft. I think that their poke is okay. Chromie and Falstad can do a lot. Maybe the idea is just to use the time-lapse by Chromie to pick whoever they're able to pull in. But with Bagatron and Anduin, and now I'm seeing that that's maybe why they did pick the Anduin, we'll be able to use Leap of Faith to kind of utilize to save whoever gets hit by the time-lapse. And now Deathwing picked up as the final pick for Calavoth, who I forgot to ask how to pronounce the name. I was rushing over to the bathroom and then we got straight into game number 2 pretty much. So that's super... so that is super exciting. But now, anyway, we are getting into game number 2. And this is going to be a big one, so let's all get excited for this. All right, and we're in for game number 2. I will say I'm definitely favoring the composition of BoomerGaming this game. As we do see the Hog Wild coming out right away, just bouncing between the walls. Why not? King Andrews is letting me know it's going to be slowing sands and not loop. Slowing sands would make sense this game, actually. You're right. Because while it's true that they are lacking a little bit of engage, BoomerGaming isn't really mobile. They're not going to have a lot of back and forth. They're not going to be able to jump there. So having that massive slowing sands would be able to do a lot for their team fight. Now that you mentioned that, I am kind of seeing the vision. And Calavoth is going to be able to deal a lot of damage over top of the slowing sands too. As we do see J Shifts kind of getting bullied by Lazy Hydra, but just a little bit of damage back and forth. Isaac going to be hit by a lot of health right away. They are looking for these plays right now. Just kind of damaging onto Calavoth as they do move bot side, but they are bringing 2 top, iFeed, and J Shifts. Gonna get the jet propulsion on the Lazy Hydra immediately. Not gonna be able to get the pull as the Hog Rod will be able to pull to safety. Now Bellers is just kind of trying to stand front and center. It is 3v4 over in this bot side, but I think they should be okay. They should be feeling confident here. Not a lot of danger to be had quite yet, especially with their positioning. As the siege camp is starting to get burned down already by Boogans forever. But so far, both sides just kind of going to be clearing out what they can. And in the meanwhile, we are seeing a decent amount of damage being dealt onto the siege camp. And Bellers is going to be running in and going to get first blood for BoomerGaming. Excellent kill for them right away. And that's going to be first blood going for them this time. Last game, they did give that away, but now they're going to be the ones with this little bit of a lead. And now we're continuing on with this play as a King of Old. Thank you very much for the 5 gifted subs. Trying to give that luck over to the Boomers. But so far, the map has been a little bit quiet. Siege Camp now going to be going down for the side of BoomerGaming. They were able to net themselves the level 4 lead, but that will be matched by Boogans Forever right now. And one big thing to note is iFeed's kind of been a lone top for a little while, able to get them just that little bit of extra XP advantage. They are up almost an entire level. However, all the waves are pushed in, so a lot of that will get picked up soon. Now the siege camp is shoving in right now, able to get a little bit more harass onto Calavoth. I think that's how it is, Calavoth. But yeah, anyway, Dope Monster also going to be shoving out this bot side, and the shrine is being activated, but the Bruiser camp was taken by Lazy Hydra, and there is no answer from the side of BoomerGaming. Now, J Shifts is going to be getting on top of it right now. It will be a little bit later, though. And the question is, are they going to be trying to clear everything out here, or are they going to be going more for the play of just getting to the shrines late? Because what they can do is if they clear out this Bruiser camp themselves and have theirs shoving in, they'll be able to utilize this pressure. But what they do lack with that is time. They will start at a disadvantage when it comes to this race and this positioning over for the shrine. J Shifts is walking in, not able to really find anyone to grab quite yet, as Lazy Hydra continuing to just spin around in the shrines, killing off so many of these skeletons. iFeed gonna come in from the top side now, and no one really wants to walk in here. They are able to get the pull onto Isaac. Bellers is anyway, as I do feel the need to zoom out a little bit here as there's a lot going on. But right now it's still 26-12 when it comes to all the different skeletons being taken down. And Lazy Hydra, we don't even know if Lazy Hydra's there. Oh, just came back to the keyboard and will start shoving away everyone from this shrine. But BoomerGaming, they were able to just walk in and take control of this. But Calavoth trying to zone away Bellers. Bellers will be able to just walk through the flame. And the first Punisher will go over to Boogans Forever, able to come in last second to get the 40th skeleton for themselves. Not a lot of fighting, but a lot of posturing. Both sides don't want to lose this game too. So they're playing it safe, they're playing it measured. And Dope Monster takes a lot of damage from non-champion. Level 8 will be coming in for Boogans Forever, which does give that ultimate over for the Chromie. So non-champion. We will see the build that's coming in now. Or shortly anyway, as J Shifts will clear out this wave. So the the Punisher was able to get this, just the wall. They weren't able to get the fort. And you know what? You were right. It is slowing stance. Slowing stance will be picked up by Chromie. I'm still very curious to see how they go on with these late game team comps. Because I have been told that I am also wrong about their escapes. I guess they do have the Maiev jump away, leap of faith by Anduin. But I want to see how both of these teams are going to be able to utilize their picks and their talents, really. As Calavoth just kind of walks in, tries to utilize the massive HP bar. Will be able to pull non-champion back. Only able to get a little bit of poke down. And they will be able to secure that siege camp for BoomerGaming. A lot of damage going on to Calavoth. They will be able to clear over this bot side cap, and they have their own siege camp available. And in fact, once again, it's a slight XP lead over for BoomerGaming. I feed on Lazy Hydra. Jet Propulsion is going to go off to the side, so no real lasting damage there, but a little bit of a trade just happening, kind of feeling each other out. And Dope Monster will finish off the siege camp, and Isaac just kind of staying in the bush, trying to scout out the enemy. As level 10s are hit by both sides almost at the exact same time. And all the rest of the ultimates are now coming in. Not seeing anything super special quite yet. It will be the Shockwave from Lazy Hydra, not going to be the Hortapult. But other than that, everything seems pretty standard. Riptire as well coming out from Dope Monster. Those are the two characters that I typically see could go either town, as some fighting is happening in the mid lane, but just a little bit of poke onto Calavoth. And nothing lasting will end up happening here. The next shrine should be spawning out soon, as the Bruiser camp is getting taken down by Lazy Hydra. Calavoth walks in, able to get a stun on a J-Shift, but J-Shift's just stealing as much damage as possible. The Calavoth, with that massive HP bar, will just be able to zone them out with the by body blocking. Calavoth runs past Bellers, and Bellers will be able to get in. I-Feed also on top of it, but so much damage, and even the Gust utilized to zone them off the objective. Riptire gonna land onto onto the entire backline. A lot of damage done. Leyline Scene will also block away the engagement, but that's all it will do. So no one's gonna end up going down. Siege camp does get Bruiser camp does get secured by Boogans forever. But the Bruiser camp will now also be started by J-Shift. And once again, they will be a little bit late coming over to this shrine spawning. They were almost able to get the 40 kills on the last spawn as well. But I do want to see them kind of contesting it a little bit more aggressively, as the slowing stance is really getting in Beller's way. Kind of being used just as a tool to zone away. And now Lazy Hydra gonna be leaving their keyboard as they continue using the Hog Wild to just kill as many of these skeletons as possible. E-Bagatron able to steal away a few, but it's 30-5, so if they're gonna go, they need to go now. And J-Shifts does go in on the Thundercats, isn't able to get a pullback though. So it is looking like it's just gonna be secured, yep, by the side of Boogans forever, and they're gonna have their 40th skeleton down. And they're going to have a Mortar Punisher shoving into this bot lane. And both sides just kind of feeling risk averse with their method of play. Neither side really pushing for any fights. Now, I will say Boogans forever, they're getting what they want. So they're not really being pressured to fight. But BoomerGaming, by not fighting, by coming into these plays a little bit late, they're really losing a lot. They lost their bot side wall, and Punisher is still at half HP. They're gonna take a lot of damage over onto this fort as well, as they do take the pullback. Riptire will come out just to zone everyone away. That a Dope Monster is letting them know that is his fort. And we will see, kind of hitting the bot side wall, decides, you know what, I don't need this fort. We can just take this fort down later. And the Punisher will go down, and so will the siege camp, picked up by Boogans forever. So they are slowly growing their lead, half a level, sure. But they don't have any lasting lane pressure quite yet. Both the mid and bot are both at around half and 1/3 HP. So it is a lot of viable pressure that they could really force out on their own. Now J-Shift just going to be throwing out some abilities, just going to get that mid shove. And all of these walls are so healthy, minus this top side. We didn't see that one. For the side of Boogans forever, as Leyline Scene was thrown down, Calavoth kind of getting hit by everyone. Sands will just prevent any kind of follow-up. And Calaboth really doesn't need to worry too much. Not enough DPS quite yet to really get burst down. That is one of the advantages of Deathwing. The HP bar is just so high. Same with the armor. They did break one of the scales, so now it's down to 30 armor. And we'll have to end up using flight at some point. Now, non-champion, just getting stuck on a trap, but we'll just be able to clear it out pretty safely. Beller's also within this fight right now. And Calaboth still has not been able to really reset. They could try to pressure Calaboth now. Losing all of that armor does make a pretty big difference in terms of the DPS. And we even see iFeed able to zone out Calaboth on his own now. And it's going to be a little bit hard for them to really DPS through this Deathwing. As long as Calaboth is able to play smart and really not really like go out of position, should be very safe this entire game. I could see Calaboth never going down, at least not in a disadvantageous trade. We do see Bellers trying to scout something out. Not going to see a play forming quite yet. As we're already 11 minutes into the game and still only one kill. Both of these teams just playing the map more than the fights. Calaboth still has a little bit of HP left in that bracket. Just one more hit would have been needed to crack that open, but iFeed was not able to get it. Now level 16s now coming out from both sides, and the talents are pretty much at the XP is identical for both of these teams. They will finish off this bruiser camp, but this time they choose. Oh, sorry. This time they do choose to wait before spawning out this shrine. But iFeed's going to walk in and just kind of pressure them to take it right now. Beller's just walking forward, and they are going to be able to get a decent amount of damage on Calaboth. Will be protected after that first hit. Not going to be able to break into the half HP mark. And that's kind of where the struggle is. Because Calaboth can just zone away by body blocking. Hog Wild, just very good ability. And Lazy Hydra just going to be able to walk away. It's so difficult for them to find picks. And they can attempt zoning with the traps and the mines, but if they're not able to keep them away to start with, it becomes so difficult to push them away. But the same is not true for Boogans Forever. They're able to just walk in and instantly start pressuring the Chromie, able to deal so much damage over the wall. Lazy Hydra playing so safe. Hog Wild just used, and now infinite ability. Calaboth also going to be jumping on to Bellers. Bellers getting hit over in this backside. Calaboth now at half HP. And is going to be losing that armor, but iFeed also taking DPS. They are able to get a 3-man push, and Isaac gets pulled back, even with the Gus. Riptire going to be thrown out, but will only be used to hit onto non-champion. Little bit of damage also onto the onto the tower. But they're able to get a little bit of push onto the skeletons. They're at 34. Dope Monster is chucking as many mines over the wall as possible, and this race is going to be very close. Who's going to end up getting it? 2 more, and they will be able to finish this off on BoomerGaming. Looks like Boogans Forever were trying to defend a little bit longer, but they're finally able to get an objective going their way. And the real question here is how much use will they be able to get out of this? Oh, interesting use of the time. I've actually never seen that. That is a very good usage of it. Well played by the Chromie in Boogans Forever. They were able to get the wall, and they are also able to get a decent amount of damage over onto this mid lane fort. Dope Monster trying to DPS as hard as possible. J Shift gonna be able to push them away back into the second little bit of HP, as the first fort will go down for them. So now they are able to tie this map pressure. They did a gust thrown out by Isaac. A little bit surprised about that. I did not think that was really necessary. But during all of that, the bot lane fort was taken down by Boogans Forever. So it is 1-1 in terms of forts. They do have the pressure now in mid lane for BoomerGaming, but the bot lane pressure will still be pushing naturally for Boogans Forever. And the XP lead is still tied. These two teams are just so close together with their abilities and with their just the way they play. Less than a quarter of a level between these two teams. And depending on where the wave is, they could go back and forth either way, as the siege camp does get taken over. But iFeed now jet propulsion used, trying to get some DPS onto Lazy Hydra, not able to hit anything. But Bellers is also here now. We'll try pulling it back, but Hog Wild, good ability, very fair, is able to just get him out to safety. J Shifts will take out that cannon tower, and will open up that fort. That bot side wall is now completely destroyed. Both sides, once again, we do see a little bit of a lull in the game, and almost level 20 hit by both sides. Chromio already max talent, piercing sands. And the beauty of it is that there's still only been one kill this entire game. Both these two teams are just playing so safe. They're respecting each other so much. And that's how you can really appreciate how much these two teams respect each other. These are the top two teams of the Nexus division, and no matter who wins or loses today, that will not change. So so now they just want to see which one of them is going to be that #1 team. And it is very close between them. As the stun does come out, lands on a dope monster, won't be punished too much for it. We'll be able to just use the Concussive Mine to get out of there. And dope monster getting as much poke as possible with those triple grenades now coming out, able to deal so much damage. Dope monster instantly just transitioning over to mid. As we do see the bruiser camp was taken. They're trying to cancel it. iFeed not able to get there in time to stop it. Gust used by Isaac and Hogwild used by Lazy Hydra. But no play is going to end up coming out of that. The bruisers are taking so much damage before they can even reach the lane, though. So not going to get too much value out of them. But level 20 now hit by both teams. All of the talents have been picked. And this is where it's really going to start getting close into these fights. Non-champion does get hit over by Bellers. Half the HP gone. No follow-up available. Lazy Hydra there to zone the follow-up away. Hogwild going to be used. And now we're seeing BoomerGaming. They're here first. They're able to be here at the same time as the spawn. They did that last time, and they were able to get the shrine because of it. They do get the time stop over on a J shift, but Leyline Seal also very good ability. But Lazy Hydra just going to be able to use the Hogwild to get out of it. But now that's going to be on cooldown, and they're able to get the Light Bomb onto it. Lazy Hydra getting very low, gets the Shockwave out, but will go down now. iFeed going into the middle of the enemy team. In the meanwhile, we do see Isaac over the backline does kill out their healer. They really hate the healer on the side of BoomerGaming, bullying both games. Now Gus thrown on a J shift. J shift's now getting kind of chased down, but they're able to get so much damage on a Kalov, and Isaac also getting very low. Bunker does come out. Riptire slowly running through. Just going to be used for the skeletons and to poke down non-champion. At the end of the day, it is a 1-for-1, but the HP bars, while they are favoring BoomerGaming, they are the ones that lost their healer. So it's really just a matter of time. 9 more skeletons left for them. If they're able to get it first, they could still pressure this out. And what a snipe by non-champion as Bellers goes down. iFeed just needs to get 2 more. They will be able to secure themselves the Punisher, but I don't think they're going to be able to push with it. They need that extra health. They need that Anduin back, but there's still 12 seconds before the Anduin respawns. And I've been wanting some action this game, and they finally deliver. The Mortar Punisher is still able to get a decent amount of damage over onto this bot fort, but will get taken down very quickly. Not even sure if it will be able to finish off this bottom fort. Does not look like it, as does dive on the Thundercats and will get taken down. However, they are able to use this pressure to push down the top fort. Very good map play over by BoomerGaming. They are at a player disadvantage right now. It is 4v5 on the map as a whole, but they were by using that Punisher, they were able to get themselves the kill that they needed. But now, in the meanwhile, the siege camp has been picked up by Boogans Forever, and both sides are now grouping over towards the mid lane. Flame Breath used by iFeed. And the time stop was used, but Swipe, unfortunately not timed. And then they also have the Bunker and the Gust throwing them into the enemy and into the Silence. And look at all that damage onto Dope Monster. But will be pulled back, and the Deathwing does go down. A Leyline Seal over on it too. Sorry, that's not Leyline Seal. I don't know what ability that is. I've been saying that whole game. But anyway, non-champion is getting pushed in. Will get pulled back, and iFeed will get stopped. But that's still not enough. Non-champion does go down in the end. And that's a 3-0 for BoomerGaming. And they needed a fight win, and they were able to get it. And now Bellers and Dope Monster are grouping together in the bot side. They will clean up that fort. It's a bit unfortunate for them that there is no shrine available right now. They do not really have waves anywhere. The top wave is shoved in, but Isaac will be able to get here in time to clear it out. They will decide to just brute force through the mid lane, take down this wall at least. And even getting just these walls will help a lot with future idea what we missed. And this is going to be a surprise to both of us. Once again, I'm terribly sorry. This never happens. We are reconnecting. We can do the sounds of a team fight. Riptire has been thrown out. Trying to reconnect right now. And yeah, again, I'm super terribly sorry this happened, especially in such an intense moment, in such an intense game. We can hear the sounds of the game, but it's not letting us in quite yet. Come on, let us in. All right, and we are back in. So both sides are fully alive. The Punisher has been taken over by the side of Boogans forever. It's 5-on-6, so we did miss one team fight, which again I do apologize for, but we are back now. Hopefully my computer will be able to last, but iFeed now trying to take down this Punisher. It's starting to get super low. They're not able to quite take this mid lane keep yet. Bellers was able to pull a few people back in. And now Kaloth is going to be dove on top of. Will lose almost half the HP. And now J Shifts running back in. Not able to find anyone. We'll be able to get the time stop over onto this Deathwing. And the Deathwing is going to be in a very bad situation. Able to throw out the fear. But now Kaloth just needs a few more autos and will get finished off by Bellers. So that kill will go over back to the side of BoomerGaming. The keep is still alive. 1700 HP left on top of that. And J Shifts will clear out the bot side, make sure the bot side keep is also alive. The wall does go down, but the keep is still at full HP. Now, anyway, we are seeing a little bit of fighting happening right now between both of these two squads. The time stop will come out, but they are going to try and push down this midway. Isaac able to get onto the back. A lot of damage on a dope monster. Half the HP gone there. But iFeed still trying to throw a little bit of fire down. 24 seconds left until the Deathwing does respawn. But with that cannon, they will be able to finish off this keep. So still the map pressure favoring BoomerGaming. They're able to get these small leads as it is 24-24 in levels. And this game just keeps on going. Both sides will regroup right now into their bases. And it seems like they're just trying to make a sneaky play. I think J-Shifts and Bellers are looking to try and catch someone in rotation. Isaac will walk down, but will walk down the safe way. Not going to try cutting any corners. And they will walk away. Bruiser Camp is being started off by Boogans Forever. Boogans Forever. And they should be able to just secure this. Bruiser Camp not going to be spawning for the Boomers anytime soon. And that'll go down in their favor. They will be able to have that little bit of an extra push topside. Won't be answered. But the Maya for J Shifts is available. Oh, sorry. As I do realize, the talents have disappeared. Shadow Orb Vengeance. So, Containment Disc. That's the name of the ability. I knew that one. Okay. So now Bellers is... They're all grouping down mid. It is 5 there. But they're now going to send iFeed and Begatron just to go top, clear out this Bruiser Camp. And the Shrine is going to be spawning over on the top side as well. So it is a little bit of an interesting question for them. We do see Lazy Hydra and Isaac. They're going to start onto the Siege Camp, try and get a little bit of natural pressure for themselves down here. But Dope Monster is already ready to collect on it. And in fact, they're sending in 4. They're looking to take the Siege Camp themselves while iFeed clears out their top side. There's also a Siege Camp shoving in their mid. So there's going to be a lot of cleanup for them to do before they can get onto the rest. Before they can get onto the Shrine in time. So they will be late. It is already started by Thundercats. Lazy Hydra not going to be able to spin to win over for this part. Or for this Shrine. But Calavoth taking a lot of damage. Betters is trying to body block a little bit and forced to just fly out. Sorry, with the Cataclysm. And that's a very major cooldown gone, and it's been a way they were able to get it in before. The time stop used. Riptire gonna be protected, but Calavoth still taking down low. Same with Isaac, and they're just kind of getting zoned off completely. Lazy Hydra and non-champion still able to walk in a little bit, but not able to quite reach the distance they need. Non-champion able to get so much DPS from range. And we do see Calavoth has taken flight and is trying to pick off a little bit of the skeletons while in flight. But Isaac takes out the mid lane keep in the meanwhile, as Calavoth does land and immediately starts getting attacked. will be able to survive, already taken down through the first quarter, and the containment disc will be thrown out by Jay Shift. And will they be able to follow up on that? Calivoth does throw out the ultimate, but will not be able to get the fear at all. And Calivoth is very low on the final set of HP, still getting zoned down. In the meanwhile, Begatron almost dies in the backline, and in fact has to run away from that Chromie ability. Just barely will not land, but now Jay Shift tries to pull back Lazy Hydra, but Lazy Hydra is able to just hog wild away. And everyone on such low HP bars, but no one goes down. Bellers walks in, able to get the stun onto the... And with the jet propulsion, they're able to take down the Hogger. And that's a really big kill for them to get. And IV does not get traded back in the meanwhile. And they should be able to secure this now with that 4v5 and the no HP on the Calivoth. Dope Monster does use that Rip Tire, does not end up taking anyone down. Thank you, Vanessa, for the posture check. I've definitely been leaning way too far into my monitor. But anyway, they are now grouping it together. They do have the Punisher. They have the 4v5. And this could even be a time for them to try and end the game. Especially if they're able to catch Thundercats. Containment Disc thrown onto the Stukov. Ifeed already here. And Jet Propulsion used. And Thundercats will get pushed back. But the Gust coming out from Isaac tries to keep him alive. And just a little bit more damage is needed. And they will be able to get the final hit. Now Dope Monster still running down to Calivoth. Just needs a little bit of DPS. Will not be able to get the final hit. But that's still 2 down. And the side of BoomerGaming is already onto the core. They're already beating it down. But will they be able to defend? There is still 3. Now 4 spawning. As we do see the Hogger is coming back. A Cataclysm thrown on top of all of them. Jet Propulsion will land though, but will not be followed up, as we do see that the tank does go down to the back line. Leap of Faith used to keep Ifeed alive. And now the Punisher comes in. But Containment Disc actually kind of saves Isaac. But you know who the Containment Disc did not save? The Hogger. And now Non-Champion is the last one left. And with that, that should be game. That should be game number 2 going over for BoomerGaming, as we will get a 3rd map, and my dreams came true. And with that, once again, these 2 teams deliver. They were able to get both game number 1 and game number 2, just 2 insane games. Game number 1, we saw both of these teams' abilities to team fight. Game number 2, we saw their macro play. I cannot wait to see where they're going to go with game 3, what map they choose, and how they're going to be playing during it. All I can say is definitely don't go anywhere. But now, before we do go on another short little break, I would like to take this time to thank AFK Journey for sponsoring this stream. Be sure to download AFK Journey completely free. And even if you just install the game, decide not to play it at all, it still benefits me a lot. But if you do decide to play, I've been playing it for the past week and a half. I've been enjoying it. It is a gacha game, but if that's your kind of game, I do think AFK Journey is one of the best gacha games there is out there. But anyway, gonna send you off to a short little break, and we'll be back for game number 3. And we are in for the third and final map of this Nexus Division series between Boogans Forever and BoomerGaming. Map number 3 is Dragonshire. So fighting on this map isn't quite as necessary as it was on the first two maps, at least in terms of getting the objective. Though Boogans Forever did prove you don't need to fight on Infernal Shrines either. Sorry, I'm just getting all my words mixed up right now. But anyway, let's reset. So Dragonshire, gonna be another interesting map. It's very large. There are 3 lanes, but really the top lane and the bot lane matter by far the most. So moving on to this draft, I do want to see if anyone really changes what they can do. Lost Vikings as the first ban. That definitely changes the draft pretty substantially. They have been banning that Diablo pretty consistently, so I am curious if they'll continue banning the Diablo as their second phase. But in the meanwhile, from the side of BoomerGaming, that Hogger really didn't ever on their team. They were able to win the game, but Hogger and the Chromie, both the Hogger and the Chromie, were very annoying. So not surprised to see the Chromie gone. I wanted non-champion to kind of show me why that wasn't banned, but now I know. Now, anyway, moving on to their next set of bans. I do expect the Diablo to be banned here if they're going to be consistent, but they go with the Muradin. So they are changing something up. They don't seem to be too worried about the Diablo. And I'm wondering if it's because they're planning on picking it, or if they want the Diablo picked so that they can take a Garrosh or something. But the issue with that is Joanna is also open, so it would definitely need to be a counter pick, because if they blind Garrosh, Joanna does really well into Garrosh. Garrosh can't really do a lot into that pick. Final ban will come out now, and it will be the Hanzo. So kind of a mix of Game 1 and Game 2 bans. And they are focusing more on the side of... Oh, sorry, and they do end up picking up the Joanna for the side of Boogans Forever. And the Diablo insta-locked by Bellers, and Medivh picked up now by J-Shift. So if I do stay consistent, wrong but consistent, I will now start calling it Containment Disc. But I'll be better than that. I will be calling it Leyline Seal this game. J-Shift just heard me calling out the wrong ability name most of last game. I managed to get in the last minute or two. As Greymane and Anduin are both locked in for Boogans Forever. A lot of DPS from the Greymane, and Anduin, as we've seen, been picked all 3 games so far. Very solid healer. Good cleanse, Leap of Faith, just a very strong ability, very good defensively. And the Light Bomb to help facilitate the engage. And I'm wondering what kind of build they do end up going onto Greymane this game, as we do see the Hogger banned out. I love Hogger as a character, but I do think Hogger is a little bit overtuned even now. I believe he is getting nerfed for the next patch, the one that's currently in the PTR. But we will have to wait and see, because I don't really remember what the Hogger changes were. But yeah, we also see the Sylvanas being banned out by Boogans Forever. And one thing BoomerGaming do need, they still need a healer, they still need a standard DPS. And by standard, I mean someone who can deal DPS a bit more consistently. Medivh is able to, once those Arcane Shifts are stacked up, will be able to deal a lot of damage. But until then, does lack a little bit of DPS. Still a very strong control pick. A lot of utility on the Medivh. But not able to really hard DPS as much as you'd like one of your carries too. Rhaegar and Dahaka both picked up. And Yrel and Deathwing. And this is an interesting team composition now, because that's non-champion on Deathwing. That was their mage player from the previous game. So huge frontline over for them, and they've rightly seen that Medivh not going to be able to deal that much damage to the frontline. But luckily they still have their last DPS, and I think they just need someone who can just deal damage. And Melthil. Oh, what an interesting pick. So also going for kind of a triple frontline build, but Melthil is able to deal AoE % health burn. That may be the single best pick they could have gotten, and I do have to, just with that, I have to give the favoring towards BoomerGaming for this draft. But we will see who ends up winning in this game 3. And we are back. Game number 3 starting right now. And like I was saying just before we went to that small transition, I do think that Melthil is going to be the main character of this game. I think that depending on how well they're able to play it out, how much damage iFeed will be able to bring using this Melthil, or Melthil, it's really going to decide who wins this game. Because it's a 3 frontline composition, and all of them are very high HP frontliners too. Lazy Hydra on the URL, so much base HP. Deathwing, so much base HP. And with that ultimate, we'll be able to just absolutely demolish them once the level 10 is hit. And even before that, just with the standard AoE damage, I want to see a lot from my feed this game, I'll be completely honest. Now Jay Shifts gets jumped on by Lazy Hydra. Protect himself and will jump through the portal. But we'll get met over onto the other side. And first blood, just like that, going over to Boogans forever. Very smart play, able to pincer out the Medivh early. Now, as a Medivh, if you are going to die, it's better to die early so you don't lose your Arcane Rift stacks. And another stun hit onto Bellers. Bellers also going to be taking a lot of DPS. And just so much DPS, in fact, that Bellers will go down too. And that's 2 early kills for Boogans forever. Off to a very strong start for themselves. Jay Shifts now in bird form, flying back, just kind of seeing what's happening. Siege camps are now up for both sides, but Thundercats and Isaac are going to go straight for the Bruiser camp. They're going to ignore their siege camp for now. Bagatron and iFeed will start taking down their siege camp over on their side. But now they are into Dope Monster on the Dahaka. And that character will be able to really shove out this Bruiser camp when it spawns. They will need BoomerGaming to kind of do the double soak, being able to take mid and bot. At least that was my initial thought, but now what I'm seeing is Isaac and Thundercats are going to be the 2 that they send up top. They're going to be able to have that extra pressure, but iFeed and Begatron will be able to secure their own Bruiser camp as well. But it'll be a bit late. They will be able to pressure out, get the top side shrine, but bot side shrine currently being taken by Dayshift. And with the mid priority being held on by BoomerGaming, they won't be able to take the dragon anytime soon. A lot of pressure over onto this wall. As we do see the Shadow Charge, not going to land onto anything though. Begatron and Dope Monster will take down that pesky little caster bruiser. And we'll be able to just zone it out away. So both sides kind of even on their camps. And in fact, Isaac will be finishing off the last camp available, which is the siege camp. We're not going to talk about this Bruiser camp. It doesn't exist yet. Not until a team has been able to get good bot pressure. Now iFeed going to walk right into Calavo. Not going to be a lot of damage. We'll just interrupt it as Shadow Charge will land onto Isaac. Just a little bit of poke going back and forth. Isaac will be able to just get healed up by Thundercats. So no worries there. And now Jay Shifts has been stacking the Arcane Rift already at 7. Oh, sorry, that's this. Arcane Rift is at 7. Still not bad. Not as good as 18 souls now onto the Diablo. As they are able to get onto Calavo. A lot of damage already. Already less than a quarter HP. And the Melthil dealing so much damage. Shadow Charge going to be coming in as well. I believe the Steel Skin's already been used. The Blind will be able to buy a little bit of time. But Begatron will be able to come in and get that kill for BoomerGaming. And just like that, they're able to tie or to bring a kill back for themselves. They're showing they're still fighting. Now Dope Monster and Lazy Hydra gonna play Ring Around the Rosie. Lazy Hydra just trying to delay and make sure that Dope Monster won't be able to take this shrine. And I don't think Dope Monster will be able to take this shrine, as we are seeing a little bit of fighting over the bot side as well. Jay Shift's gonna get zoned out, and in fact, now it's looking like both sides should be able to get their shrines. But Dope Monster will end up winning the top side. But Boogans Forever will now trade for the bot shrine. So once again, the dragon is still available over in the middle. Beller's looking at Kelvo. Decides to just use the abilities to clear the wave. Not going to try jumping in. A little bit of trading going on here. And lots of burn damage just from non-champion. Able to throw away that, where is that? Molten Flame. Sorry, missed that ability. That Molten Flame over on top of everyone. Bellers is still holding on to mid, and we are seeing a decent amount of damage happening over the top side. Lazy Hydra will get a leap of faith to wait, but Bellers is right there, and will also jump onto Lazy Hydra, but the healing is too much. Bellers will be able to walk away, but no kill going over for BoomerGaming. Now iFeed gonna mount up, start grouping together into the mid lane. And now the shrine has been taken entirely by Boogans Forever for both sides. Calaboth gonna get pushed into the tower. But now Bellers is starting to get low and really no one here to protect him. iFeed is gonna be here for some damage. Drag will miss. And iFeed is hitting onto Isaac. But in the meanwhile, we saw J-Shit was able to take back the shrine, at least temporarily in the bot lane. And so much fighting happening on both sides of the map. But one thing I do want to note, as the drag does come out for Calaboth, Dope Monster just kind of trying to run into everyone, prevent them from taking over. But Dope Monster might even go down here, will go into stasis mode. But Thundercats will be able to pick up the dragon, and the first dragon goes over to Boogans Forever. Will use that Fire Breath straight onto the mid lane wall, but starts walking over top. iFeed gets knocked back. Towards the side of Boogans Forever. We'll just mount up and walk back. No worries there. And we'll just continue using the Flame Breath over on that wall. Playing it slow, playing it safe. There's a little bit of fighting happening in the mid lane. Isaac gonna get fished into the team. Gets dragged as well, and that should be the kill. Calaboth also taking a decent amount of damage, but not enough. With that, though, the Anduin does feel pretty safe shoving into this fort. Use the Fire Breath and just walks right in, gets a few autos off onto it. And taking a lot of damage from the fort as well. Not a lot of time left on the Dragon Knight, but they were able to get the wall, and that's kind of what you want from it. But as I was saying before all that fighting happened, J-Shift has been put into a lane against a Deathwing. And that makes for easy stacking for the Arcane Rift. At 37 stacks already. Once they hit just one more now, they will finish their stacking, and they will have that. And in fact, they were able to finish it off. So they are now fully stacked. 1 second less cooldown, which really increased the DPS. So that's a very big quest milestone to be hitting. Over for sorry, I forget his name. For J-Shifts. Now Dope Monster seeing Lazy Hydra. Mounting up, and will get dragged immediately. Dragged into the wall, but won't be able to land the Shadow Charge into it as well. Still taking down about 2/3 of that health. And Leyline Seal landing on a 3, just delaying over the bot side. iFeed is able to be here at the back. But in the meanwhile, Light Bomb is going to throw on everyone, but Isaac is also going to get picked off by iFeed. And now Thundercats also getting stuck under the fort. And we'll just go down to the fort, and just so much death on both sides. But still a 3-for-1 for BoomerGaming, as they are able to get all of these kills for themselves. A little bit of an overextension and a really rare misplay, really, from either one of these two teams. And BoomerGaming, they were definitely able to punish that mistake. And that just really shows you the high level of these two teams. You overextend once, the other team is going to punish you immediately. They're going to be able to take 3 kills for that one, and will steal away that siege camp. And on top of that, we'll also use that pressure to take over the Bruiser camp in this bot side. So just a lot of pressure, a lot of value being used by that one play. A Dope Monster is now shoving out this lane on top. It does have the help of the Bruiser camp. Lazy Hydra just clears it immediately. Bruiser's now spawning on the bot side as well. And it is going to be that 4 per lane grouping right now. Calaboth able to pull everyone in. And lots of fire damage coming in through. Isaac does have the Light Bomb, but not going to be able to land on anyone. Now Isaac is kind of stuck a little bit, and they're jumping onto Isaac. Leyline still used. Failures trying to get in position, but will get feared away by non-champion. They're going to continue just shoving out these waves. They did get a good chunk of the wall. They got the bottom cannon tower and the gate too. Now they will have vision of all these plays. They're already gearing up for the dragon. iFeed gonna try to pull this. And Lazy Hydra will cancel last second. But now Bellers is here on top of Lazy Hydra. And look at all that damage dealt already. Lazy Hydra gonna be hurting real bad after that. Has to force out the ultimate. We do see last rites used and blocked by the Ardent Defender. As I am trying to learn all these ability names. And they do get the drag, meanwhile, onto the Lazy Hydra. And no Ardent Defender up right now. And with the Lightning Breath is going to go down. Begatron just running into Calavoth in the middle of everyone. Dope Monster trying to run down Calavoth and will land the drag. And with Laz, the Shadow Charge will be able to finish it off. Ancestor Healing not going to be in time, so they will get traded back. But still another 2-for-1 in favor of BoomerGaming. And now J-Shift's going to be clearing out this bot side. Dope Monster going to try and cap this shrine. But non-champion just going to try and brute force their way in. But Bellers is here. J-Shifts is here. They get the ley line seal, so they're able to, first of all, get this shrine. Second of all, going to get a lot of damage done onto this, but the fear will come out. But at the end of the day, they were able to zone them away, as there is fighting going on mid lane. Isaac versus iFeed. Now Beller's going to run in, going to slowly try and push Isaac away, and we'll get the Shadow Charge into the Overpower, and so much damage onto Isaac as the last rites do come in. Light Bomb thrown down, but will die while the Light Bomb is on top. So no usage able to come out from that. But Lazy Hydra will be able to take back that top shrine, but that's still a kill going over for BoomerGaming. They're going to try and pressure this out a little bit. They do have iFeed already hitting out into the top, but in the meanwhile, they're just body blocking Calavoth. The drag will end up missing. Siege Camp will get finished off by J-Shift's new Bagatron, and that'll start helping shove out the bot side. And every time they're able to get both of these shrines, Boogans Forever moving around the map really well, able to use as much time as possible to just keep them off of these shrines, keep the dragon not available for them. J-Shift just throwing down poke, but now Lazy Hydra might be a little bit caught. Shadow Charge used, Overpower, and now the body blocks coming in, and Lazy Hydra not in a good spot. Does not have the Ardent Defender quite yet. No, sorry, is available, but will choose not to use it. Bagatron will get the kill. Now the meanwhile, Dope Monster jumping onto Calavoth. Drag used, but was during the Steel Skin. But that's still a pick done. And now J-Shift just flying around, trying to scout as much as possible as Dope Monster and Bellers both coming in. And they're just, once again, gonna brute force this shrine. And will Bellers finally be able to get this Dragon Shrine? iFeed gonna zone away Calavoth. And Bellers was in position but didn't end up grabbing it. Will cap it now, and it looks like it will be secured. So second dragon going over to BoomerGaming. But it is 12 minutes now, so this dragon's going to deal a lot more damage. 1 auto, 2 auto, and there goes the cannon tower. Already onto the fort, throwing out the Dragon Breath. And there's so much DPS. This fort is definitely going to go down. But in the meanwhile, Ancestor Healing used on Bagatron. And 3-man stun. Lazy Hydra on top of everyone. Light Bomb also on top of everyone. They're able to take out the Rhaegar immediately. A Dope Monster is starting to get pushed back. But Isaac also able to get into the backside of this fight. And everyone will get away. But that's still a kill going over the side of Boogans Forever. Overextend a little bit on that play. They were able to get the fort almost entirely down. But they lost their Rhaegar, and there is a Bruiser Camp shoving in their top side, so it's going to be a little bit hard. Calavoth gets Shadow Charge into the wall and into the drag. Leap of Faith will be forced out. J-Shift kind of getting caught. Blinded, but will be able to use the teleport to get away. And iFeed in the middle of everyone. So much damage. Last rites used. Calavoth is very low, but the last rites will not finish him off. Thundercast just barely not get hit by the drag. And non-champion able to finish off J-Shifts over on the backside. And with that massive HP bar, should be able to just walk away. iFeed now going to focus more on clearing out this wave. But they will lose the top fort. And the first fort now going down in favor of Boogans Forever. But once again, it's a very close game here. 6-9 is the kill score for Boogans. But the XP lead is favoring BoomerGaming. So this is just going to be an insanely close match. Beller's trying to run in. Able to get the Shadow Charge. Not going to be able to get any follow-up. We'll have the Overpower on a Lazy Hydra and just a lot of DPS. We'll get a little bit more poke. But in the meanwhile, the Bruiser Camp is going to be taken down on the bot side. Now, Calavoth is grouping onto the Siege Camp. Non-champion just below, so isn't completely out of position. Does have help nearby as they do force down this fort. And now the Cataclysm will come out from non-champion, and same with the Light Bomb onto Better. And Bellers is taking so much damage. Gonna get the protection and the Ancestor Healing, so now it's back to full HP. And Leyline Seal onto 2. Can they follow anything up? They're sending in their entire team through. But look at that fire damage coming out there. Non-champion Ify trying to get some kills. And in the meanwhile, the Joanna goes down to the back line. That's right. And I keep forgetting what this ability is called. Molten Flame. I do try to use their real ability names, but there's so many to learn from me right now. But yeah, Beller's going to be able to push down this bot side shrine. They will have full priority over that. And Ify will carry down through this siege camp. Both sides will take their siege camp, so that part's just going to be even out. Dope Monster, level 20, now hit on BoomerGaming. So it is a little bit of a time for them. And Lazy Hydra, not too scared about that. We'll just jump in. But Dope Monster going to use that timing to get onto the shrine. But Isaac is here. Same with Thundercats. And Isaac does get spotted. Shadow Charge will end up using the power on the Thundercats. But gets rooted. And so much damage now onto Lazy Hydra. Forced to use level 20 teleport. Now Dope Monster not able to get the drag. As Jay Shifts fights non-champion over for this shrine on the bot side. Lazy Hydra also going to try grabbing it now. Ify just throwing out as much DPS as possible. Dope Monster already getting ready for it. We'll get the drag. And now the Shadow Charge, slowly saving it. We'll use the Overpower now. The Shadow Charge into the bot side while Lazy Hydra already used the Ardent Sensor. Able to get the last rights, but not going to be enough to get the kill. Dope Monster will end up being unable to land the drag onto anyone. Now Jay Shift's trying to shove out that bot side. Non-champion will land the stun and will also take a little bit of damage for it. Evagatron trying to walk away safely. He's in a bit of a risky position as the Molten Flame is going through. Will be cancelled early though. A Dope Monster just walking past Lazy Hydra. A little bit of trading going back and forth. And both of these teams are now starting to put a lot more pressure as the shield toss does come out. The Life Bomb also coming through, but Ify will be protected. And they are able to get the Shadow Charge. And the Overpower does get cancelled over by... by the Anduin pullback. Starting to get a bit tired. Sorry, I did wake up at 3:30 a.m. this morning, and it's definitely starting to hit me. But we're going to keep the excitement all the way down to the end of the game. Ify, Evagatron, going to start shoving out this mid lane. The shrine is favoring Boogans forever right now, but Dope Monster already in position to take over that bot shrine. Both sides now level 20, so no clear-cut advantage for anyone. Slight push advantage favoring for BoomerGaming since they do have those 2 forts, but nothing extreme. Bellers is getting stunned, and the Molten Flame will go through. As Lazy Hydra does jump in. Gonna try to get some more damage out, but Bellers will be okay. Leyline Seal landing onto 3. Are they going to try following it? No. They will pull back Calivo though. And actually going to get stuck and will get pulled back by the Anduin, but will not be able to survive. And now the stun and the Molten Flame on top of everyone. Lightning Breath also trying to deal DPS. And whose fire is stronger? Because that's really the question here. J Shifts will end up falling over on the back line. The 2-4-1 still in favor of Boogans forever. So much fighting. They started off real slow. They started off playing safe. And now both of these teams are just trying to make that hero play to put themselves into the advantageous spot. Ify going to be clearing out the wave now. But both shrines are going to be picked up. And I believe the dragon will be picked up. And the dragon turns into a dragon. So now the Dragon Knight was going to be moving over towards the mid. Deathwing able to somehow shrink to fit inside of that. And they're going to be moving that straight into the bot lane. Bellers is walking up, just doing a few auto attacks over onto this Dragon Knight. And there's no one really here to clear it yet. They don't have too much DPS in their team to begin with. Ify kind of the main source of it this game. That or the Medivh. And Ify is going to get knocked away. And the Dragon Knight just kind of free hitting over onto this tower. Evagatron going to dive in now. And Ify going to get stunned and knocked back again by the Dragon Knight. But Calivo is also taking so much DPS from the backline. Dope Monster trying to keep Thundercats away so they're not able to get that pullback. But the Lazy Hydra is going to be able to jump away. And while they did all manage to jump away and get away, the Dragon Knight is still here. The Dragon Knight isn't able to knock away Ify for once. Will get cleansed. But in the meanwhile, they do go on to Dope Monster. But Deathwing is kind of stuck in the middle of everyone. We'll use the Fear and the Cataclysm to get away. Lightning Breath, meanwhile, being thrown out of the side. And last strikes will be used. Just barely not enough DPS, but iFeed still able to throw on top of everyone. Light Bomb used onto Isaac. Won't hit anyone. Very good cleanse onto iFeed. But iFeed still gets burned down by the Inflame. And Ancestral Healing will come out just barely in time to keep them alive. Beller's also getting jumped on top of it. And they are able to get the teleport. Isaac in the middle of everyone. But Molten Flame just pulling through. Beller's trying to survive as long as possible, but not long enough. Leyline team will be able to clear out a few. And with all the dragons on this map, so far it does seem that non-champion is the strongest one of all three. So now, iFeed trying to take the siege camp, but I don't think they'll be able to. Boogans forever gonna try and force this down, but they're actually playing this very safe as well. Bellers is up. It is 4 here. But the siege camp will go down in favor of Boogans forever. But I'm surprised that BoomerGaming even tried to fight that with their positioning. It is 5v5 and Dope Monster is alive, but the siege camp is so low value that I think fighting in that when you're up against Molten Flame and Light Bomb just is not a good play. But they do not get punished. Bruiser camp does go down. Molten Flame dealing a decent bit of damage over towards that fort. And the mid lane fort is actually still up for BoomerGaming. Surprisingly, considering we're already 21 minutes into the game, the bot side keep has already been taken down, and J-Shift is just going to continue, of course, pushing away this bot lane, and they're just going to catch all of the waves and try and get a little bit of pressure coming out from their side of the map. They do have the Bruiser camp pushing in top, but the Lazy Hydra's already walking up to meet that. The Bruiser camp bottom also going to go down in favor of Boogans forever. And this series just keeps on delivering. 3 insanely close games. Dope Monster going to be running in right now. Going to be hitting over onto Isaac. Is able to get the totem to get the slow, but the Bruiser camp is already down. Calavoth on the wrong side of the map. Will just be running back. Dope Monster going to be resetting as well. Going to be using the Hearth. Leap of Faith. Sorry. I don't know why. I've been calling that ability all day, and the game 3 is what I forgot it for some reason. Now Calavoth taking a lot of damage. Waiting for Thundercats, but Thundercats also gets pulled into the team, and that's going to be a lot of damage. Last rites used on the Calavoth will be able to survive it with the healing. Leap of Faith used to keep Calavoth alive again, and the stun will keep him alive, and the Dragon Knight actually gets picked up, and once again we have the dragon inside of the dragon. Flame Breath going to be used to just take down this mid lane fort. They are grouping over bot side, and Calavoth is able to get a pull onto 2. Isaac kind of in the middle of everyone. Will get overpowered. Shadow Charge not going to be used here, though. And just going to be dealing damage back and forth. Arcane Rifts being shot out by J-Shift. And Leyline Seal onto 3. Onto all 5, actually, but no follow-up. They are able to get the drag over onto Isaac. And Isaac Shadow Charged in, but so much pullback to keep him alive. Leap of Faith really coming in clutch there. But the health bars, once again, still favoring the side of BoomerGaming. But in the meanwhile, the Dragon Knight is dealing so much damage over to the core. The core is still alive. The teleport does come in. And now Isaac gonna be lightning breathed on. And Isaac will still be alive, but the Diablo will go down. And no soul, so that's 60 seconds for their tank to come in. The Dragon Knight will go down now. But it's still a 5v4. It's still non-champion in the middle of all of them. And oh my god! The Light Bomb will come down onto 3, and they're going to get a 3-man stun as well. Another 5-man lane line seal. That's the only thing keeping them alive. iFeed is able to respawn 1-for-1 right now. iFeed still trying to deal as much damage as possible. Will get cleansed up. It's taking a lot of damage, and it does seem like they will be able to defend this time. Their core is at 61 HP, but no, they were able to connect the root onto J-Shifts, but not able to follow up on it. And very close fights, very close game once again. These two teams just keep on delivering. Dope Monster gonna clear out the wave top, and what they need to try and do is try and get some kind of lane pressure. They need to win a fight to really be able to get anything here. They were able to clear out this entire bot side, and Dope Monster is worried to walk further up top, and he's right to be worried. They don't have any control over the map. They don't really see where anyone is just because their waves are so far in towards their base. It's impossible to know what part is safe to walk in and what part isn't. If you're not grouped with your team, you just have to accept that you're not going to be able to go there. Now Beller's trying to stack up the souls. Gonna be at mid 80s after they clear out this wave. So we'll have that instant respawn soon. And all the HP is restacking again onto Bellers.
It won't be long before
And now the shrines are activating in 30 seconds. But again, sometimes taking out these shrines takes a while. And we see Dope Monster still worried about walking up top. Just so much lack of knowledge. But now they do see that Calavoth is walking down bot. The team is starting to pressure the bot and the mid lane together. Which does free up a Dope Monster to clear out the top wave and start fighting for that shrine as well. This Dope Monster will clear out all of those minions. They will be giving away the bottom shrine immediately. And I feed it will be able to finish off that Bruiser camp at the same time. They will send J shifts to defend. As the Bruiser camp will be respawning, Molten Flame preemptively used just to make sure they can secure it. And Calavoth already waiting to pick up that dragon. If they can get that Dragon Knight, it'll be very difficult for them to defend. Their core is already starting to get sieged upon. 2 cannons, 2 siege minions. And they're actually going to be able to get so much damage done. And in fact, the siege minions are blocking the cannon cast from dealing any damage. And luckily, that might be enough to delay them. But in the meanwhile, Bellers is going to be hit by the Molten Flame. Trying to delay this as long as possible. J Shifts is running in Leyline Seal. Lands onto 4, and they're able to get the shrine at the top side. And Lazy Hydra taking a lot of damage in the meanwhile as well. Now, Dope Monster has pretty much finished clearing out the spot side, and their Bruiser camp finally getting some damage onto this top fort. And that's just how much they've been lacking in lane pressure this whole entire game. That is the first bit of damage they've landed in 25 minutes. Incredibly long game. Now, both the shrines have now been taken back by Boogans Forever, but the mid lane priority is favoring BoomerGaming. They're not quite strong enough to shove it in, but they are more than strong enough to potentially start a fight, as they are looking for that. And 4-man stun by non-champion. Very good. Not able to have any follow-up, though, as Bellers is going to heal up, looking for an angle. And in fact, they're going to jump right onto Bellers. Bellers going to have the Ancestral Heal used, and Leyline Seal onto 4. But now what can they use with that? And they have a 3-man stun. Fear onto everyone by non-champion. Non-champion able to really defend well. Shadow Charge onto Lazy Hydra. Lazy Hydra kind of in the middle of everyone. And so much damage dealt onto everyone. And look at the Cataclysm damage, but doesn't matter. Fire everywhere. Non-champion and Bellers just shooting flames at everyone involved. But non-champion is stuck in the middle of everyone. And that's going to be 2 kills going over for BoomerGaming. A 2-for-0 trade. And now maybe they can start fighting back for some of this map pressure. Lazy Hydra gonna try and keep them from getting that knight. As I'm a little bit confused by this light bomb gonna be used to get onto Dope Monster. But Bellers is now here. Lazy Hydra gonna get Shadow Charge. Unstoppable used. We'll jump away. We'll have the major slow and the overpower once again. Ardent Sensor will come out to absorb as much life as possible, but still not a lot of HP. They're not able to land any other crowd control, though, so they will remain alive. And in the meanwhile, their base is kind of in shambles. 2 more cannons are here. Their topside is going to die to all these cannons as well. They are sending a Dope Monster back right now to deal with it, but just really shows how much they needed to get this Dragon Knight. And with that, they're going to be able to start shoving out this wave. And look at that. Immediately going to take this to half HP. Just hitting down onto these forts, onto these walls, and onto these keeps. That's what this Dragon Knight needs to do. They're able to get the Flame Breath now onto the main keep. And they're able to kill it so fast. It's a 28-minute Dragon Knight. This Dragon Knight gets so strong as the game goes on. And now it's 5v5. Both sides are grouped together. Light Bomb will get thrown away, though. Isaac not able to really land anything. Ancestor Healing going to land onto everyone with that AoE. And they will finish off the keep. Medivh still inside of that Dragon Knight. And they might be looking to end the game. They're going to kick someone away. Cataclysm thrown onto everyone, but I don't know if they have enough damage. I don't think they have enough health. And Molten Flame going to be used onto the Dragon Knight. J Shifts gets knocked away. Going to use the portal to get out. And Dope Monster also going to use it, but a little bit late. Leyline Seal landing on it too. And they do get the drag. Can they find some kind of follow-up? And they do get the follow-up onto Isaac, but Isaac's still able to stay alive. They do have to protect onto Bellers. And the eye feed now in the middle of everyone. And they do get the teleport. Isaac able to run away just before the stun, but Lightning Breath able to deal so much DPS. Isaac just a little bit of HP. They were able to get the pull onto Calavoth. But in the meanwhile, Medivh does die. J Shifts gets picked up in the backline. And now they're going to go up. And Isaac able to deal so much damage. Shadow Charge going to try pulling them, but now it's a 5-on-3 in favor of Boogans Forever. And you know what? They have waves. They have waves on the bot. They have waves on the top. And that's exactly where Boogans Forever are going to go. They're going to attempt to end the game here, and this is a very strong timing for them. A non-champion immediately running down as far as possible, using the flight to heal up. And now it's going to be up to them to be able to defend this. It is 4v5. It is definitely something they can fight into. iFeed getting a lot of damage down. Molten Flame used. And they do have the Light Bomb, but the Light Bomb not able to land onto anyone. Isaac now in the middle of the entire team, but it is silenced and stunned right underneath the core. But the Molten Flame able to deal so much damage. Now the Lazy Hydra able to get 2 kills. And it's a 5-on-3. Shadow Charge going to be used, but doesn't really matter. They're just ignoring the heroes, and they're going to go for the core. And game 3 goes to Boogans Forever as they close out this series. And just like that, game number 3 is done. The winner is Boogans Forever. They played an amazing game. They played an amazing game 1. They played an amazing game 2. They played an amazing game 3. Both these teams, regardless of the fact that Boogans Forever did end up taking that extra win, played insanely amazing. This has been one of the most entertaining games I've ever casted. And I'm really excited to see them play in the playoffs. And I believe playoffs are going to be best of 5, so that's just going to make it even more fun to watch. I cannot believe the game we just witnessed. I was considering going for a back-to-back cast, but this has been a 2-hour cast. These games have been long. I will just keep it on to this one series for now. But thank you very much to Boogans Forever and BoomerGaming for providing an amazing series to watch. That may have been the best. I'm going to try to stop hyping up, because if I keep going, it's literally going to sound fake, but that's literally how I feel about this series. With that being said, that is the end of the series and the end of today's stream. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I'll likely be live maybe tomorrow. I try to cast every day whenever I can. So hopefully I'll see you there tomorrow. Thank you very much and have a good night.